Welcome to Challenge Forex. My name is Steve. Join me now as I go through the weekly setups for the week commencing the 22nd of July, and we're going to have a look at my winning and losing trades for the week, and I will show you that some of the trades that I was hoping to make this week, the setups, didn't actually play out, so they ended up being no trade even though I was actually watching them on the charts. So let's get started. Now, the first of my setups on my forecast for this week was the Aussie CAD. We were hoping to get an opportunity to go long on this one. However, as you can see here, the price actually crashed straight through my zone, and I was hoping for something like maybe a bounce in this area and to take long, but it actually crashed through this zone, which actually reverses this zone now and makes it into a flip zone for a possible short. So I'm going to delete the lines off the chart for now, and when I do my next review video for the forecast for the coming week, we'll see if we're going to add that on at that point. And my next prediction or forecast for this week was the same on the Aussie dollar, and we were hoping for a bounce in this area to take long, but as you can see here, it crashed straight through the zone, which now means we'll be looking at this one to be coming up, and then we'll take a short from this area. But for now, I'm going to remove the green lines. This is no longer a support area, it's now going to be a resistance area. And next one we're moving into is the Swiss yen. This one was also on my list for taking long, but as you can see here, it actually crashed through the zone, like two big red candles straight through the what I was calling a bounce area and a resistance zone, looking for a green candle to close up here above the zone to take this one long. And because this one actually went the other way, it's now becoming a red zone and looking at this one for a short. And if I do actually remove these lines now and mark the area for shorts, we can see here that so this area had multiple touches here where it was used as a support and resistance area previously, but this one would have actually been a good spot to get into here. It would have been a big stop loss, but this was actually Friday night and at the end of the week, so we didn't actually enter this one short. So this one possibly may be an opportunity for a trade next week perhaps. The next one that was on my list originally was the Euro Aussie. We were looking for this one to bounce in this area and take it long. If we did happen to get this trade, it would have been a good one. If we took long from, say, this area here, we're looking at around about 340 pips, so this would have been a nice trade, but that one hasn't actually worked out, so I will be removing that one now. We're going to now be looking sort of up around this area, possibly for a short in the coming week, possibly anyway. The next trade, this is one that I didn't actually have on my initial list. I only had this one on Thursday this week, and we actually did have a trade on this one which actually worked out well. But what I'm looking at here is we had a consolidation here where it was constantly touching this zone and bouncing off it during this week for pretty much the whole week. If we go down to a lower time frame, we can see here where it actually broke through the actual resistance area and then came back and tested it. And if I actually took this trade on the 1 hour chart, we can see here that it formed a nice W and closed above the zone, had a stop loss of only about 30 pips, and took this one for a 1-to-1 trade and actually worked out well. So this is a Friday trade for this week, just to end off the week. So this one actually worked out well. Now the next trade that I did take this week that wasn't actually on my initial list was the euro pound, and you can see here we had on Thursday this week we had a formation of a big W or a double bottom and a close above this area or area of interest here on Thursday, which led me to take this trade on Friday. And for my entry I actually used the 1 hour chart, and my stop loss went below this zone, below this zone, below the actual double bottom. You can see my stop loss is still there now. This trade did slightly go into profit and then came back, and it's at around about the entry point again now. So 0 pips at the moment, or 0.3 pips at the moment on this one, but hoping this one will go long for the coming week. The next trade on my list for this week is the pound US dollar, and as you can see here, we were waiting for this one to come back into the green zone and bounce and take this one long. However, the best that we got was it got right down to the edge of this zone, and let's look at a lower time frame. It kind of just touched this one on Friday this week, but didn't actually close in a very positive way. These are only small candles, and I would like to actually see a big green candle, something like this one here. So this might be possibly a trade for the coming week. And the last one on my list is the gold setup. So let's have a look at gold and see what that one is actually doing for this week. Gold, we were looking at this one to take short, and the zone I had drawn in here did actually almost come to this zone on Wednesday, and I probably should have entered this trade. Probably could have got in there with a, let's see, 4,400 points stop loss, so it's actually a big one. But if I did that with a 1-to-1 trade, it would have actually closed in profit, like on the same day. But if I have a look at the setups on the lower time frame, on the 4 hour chart, this one didn't actually go into the zone. I would have liked to actually see this pin candle go into this zone and then close below before entering the trade. However, this was a good entry point here, so this one is a possible trade I could have taken, but we actually missed it this week. But let me know if you actually did end up taking this one short, and if you did actually make any money from this trade, the gold setup. That's it for this week. So we only had the one trade that we actually made that took a trade and closed as well, and that was the Euro CAD, and the other setups just didn't work out. That's it for this week. Let me know if you did make any of these trades during the week, and if you actually finished in a profit or a loss. Be interesting just to see how you went with that one. Watch out for my next video coming out with my forecast for the week commencing the 29th of July 2024.